Hi, if you're new here, we are currently working on a cute little game called The Life of Mr. Pips, which is all about a little strawberry who goes out into the world, explores it, goes rafting, and also tries to find his place in life. We are Snuti, a husband and wife awesome team. Yeah, we are pretty awesome. At least I hope so.
I think so.
I think so, yeah. I'm Claire.
And I'm Christer. And if you're new here, we talk about game development. We're going to take you on a little journey about how we make games and how we are learning and want to share this journey with you. And well, we have a lot to learn and we hope you enjoy.
In the last week, we have made a lot of progress. We have worked on making our own little water shader to add to our own little mini game, which is going to be rafting with blueberries. And also added our first jumping puzzle into the game.
Yeah, so it's starting to flesh out a little bit. Starting to take a bit of shape.
And actually got some water in it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I like that water.
We've also been working on improving Mr. Pip's movements. Because he currently kind of had a out of, in space type of look, floating around. And also was a breakdancing berry.
Yeah, we had problems keeping him contained and on the ground, walking like a normal berry.
Yeah.
He liked spacewalking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean, berries don't walk, so.
So he still was realistic, you mean?
Yeah, he was still realistic.
Right.
Yeah, very realistic. Mr. Pips is a game that we aim to make within 1 to 2 months, where we will be learning a lot about game development in that process.
We're trying to get into the habit of finishing games frequently, so we understand what it takes to go through the whole process and not get caught up in small things.
Yeah. Even though we've already made a few games and finished them, it's nice to learn how to make them and ship them a little bit faster. So one of the things we worked on this week was actually our little water shader, which looks a lot nicer than what we originally had when we streamed just about 2 weeks ago and made an absolutely awful water shader.
Yes, we were trying to go about it, ad-lib it on stream, and I thought we had a clue what we were doing with the water shader, but
Nope.
It didn't look that good in the end. But we had the right theory. It was like so close.
We did.
Yeah, and once we tweaked it afterwards, what did we get?
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looked really nice, I think.
Christer's actually previously made a water shader in his little game called Carrots from Heaven. And we kind of wanted to make a similar thing, just a little bit different to make it look like rafting water rather than just an ordinary piece of water and waterfall.
Yeah, you dissing my waterfall?
I'm dissing your water. Yeah. After the stream, we ended up working on improving the water shader because we realized that it didn't have that fast flowing look that we wanted for a rafting type of water. And while we were actually in the UK, in Cardiff, there was actually a white water rafting centre right next to where I live, or used to live. And that was actually quite a lot of our inspiration, watching how the water was flowing, watching how the rafts were going.
We didn't go rafting though.
We didn't go rafting.
Can we do that next time?
We can do that next time. Yeah. We can do that. Preferably with blueberries, so we can get the actual right feel.
I'll dress up.
Yeah, you can dress up. Yeah. And actually, just from seeing that type of inspiration, we were able to fix the water shader and make it look a lot nicer.
Well, we also had some inspiration from other games, and we looked at, for example, at Zelda, how they did their water in there, and other games which have like 2D water.
Yeah, and also there was quite a lot of other games which had water shaders in Unreal, for example, which we used as a basis of, our
we couldn't apply their techniques directly, but there's a lot of the same things that goes into it, even if you're working in a different game engine.
Yeah. So we actually added a lot of nice edge foam, which looked really, really cool, and added in an extra, I can't say the word of it, so Crystal had to say it.
Voronoi.
I
don't know if I say that correctly either.
To the center of the shader to actually give it the streaks of the water, which made it look a lot nicer, just saying.
Yes, it's taking shape.
It's taking shape.
In the beginning phase, when we were working on Mr. Pips, we were using a regular character controller on him, which made him move and walk quite normally. But he wasn't really fun to move and walk around with and jump, etc. He was very static and it only did what you told him to and didn't feel very fluid. So we've actually gone away from using a character controller to make him actually into a ball with a rigid body and physics and stuff.
And a sphere collider as well.
Yeah, so it's just like he is actually just a ball that bounces around in the world, and that created a lot of crazy challenges. So we've been working through that in like multiple sessions where we've been sitting down together and trying to tackle small little issues at the time in order for him to become controllable again. Because for quite a while there, we had Superberry.
And a breakdancing berry.
Yes.
So
yeah, going for a rigid body physics approach was quite different, and we had to, what do you say, constrain him again and rein him back in again into our control. And so we have gone through and put like physics materials on things, so he has a certain amount of bounciness to him, a certain amount of friction, and also when he walks up a hill, he will start tumbling. And we wanted in different cutscenes of the game where he can tumble down a hill. So we want to, that's also some motivation for us to go for this approach in the first place. So he becomes a bit more like a fun character to work with and interesting to play, I think.
One of the things we actually did was add in raycasting to figure out which angle he was at, so we could say that he was standing or whether he should start tumbling.
We also use that for ground detection and checking if he is able to jump, etc. And also learning a little bit from how other games do it, that you are a bit lenient with the user. For like when you're running off a ledge, you can jump even though you're kind of a little bit off the ledge, so you have like this little bit delay window where you're still allowed to do things. So when things are like jumping, like jittering a little bit, that doesn't make it feel, it feels strange. You press the jump button and nothing happens.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make the controls friendly to use.
Yeah, by doing actually quite a lot of the changes we did on Mr. Pips. When you just lightly press the spacebar, he would fly up into the sky. So we had to actually do a lot of changes to give him a bit more gravity.
Yeah, because when he had a lot of drag, he was just like floating through the air and took a long time before he changed direction and stuff like that. So it made him very floaty. Yeah, that's correct. Like a feather.
Yeah.
And he's no feather, he's a berry.
So one of the things that really bothered us was when we did try to jump and we did manage to fix a lot of it, he was just like floating in the air, back down again, which just didn't feel natural in the slightest. So we really did a lot of fixes for that, so that when you press the space bar, it was like, boom, you were jumping. And
also when we apply in the jump force, we apply, depending on how long you hold the space bar, you can decide how high you jump. But rather making that like a jetpack, which has like constant force, that felt strange.
Yeah.
You have like a lot of force at the beginning and then a little bit extra for the longer you hold. And that made a jump like rather than zip.
Just like a Mario.
Yeah.
We also started modeling a few more assets as well, so making a better improved pine tree, because the one we currently have in the game didn't actually look as nice as we had hoped. And also making and designing a few more logs, which we're hoping to integrate into the game soonish.
Yeah, we have a lot of rocks in the game.
We have a lot of rocks, and we actually did make our first jump-in puzzle, which we managed to integrate.
With those rocks, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to like expand upon the world, and we have lots more assets to make.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
But
we're getting more used to Blender, which is really, really nice and handy. And our first priority isn't actually to kind of improve the world yet until we've got most of the things like the cutscenes, the movement improved, which hopefully that's nailed now.
Yeah, I mean, the game wasn't intended to have a very complicated movement system. It just kind of happened because it didn't feel right otherwise.
Yeah.
Because when we were like trying to plan the game, that was not part of the requirements. It's like, you can move around the world and jump, but that was all.
That was it, yeah.
It turned out to be this whole week of craziness for just that.
Yep. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of our journey. We hope that you're enjoying everything that we're doing and that you're also enjoying the journey together with us.
Yeah, so nice having you here. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Hope you have an absolutely amazing day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ah.
Oi, he
still has that bug back again.
Plug that back in again.
I'm trying to show people the water shader. Work with me. Or roll with me.